Hello, welcome to another episode of the Blue Mountain Mix podcast. I'm Mary Lynn, and I am back from my hiatus. I took almost all of December off from social media, YouTube. I'm just not a holiday person, and sometimes I feel like it's kind of takes everything I have just to get through December, so I decided instead of spreading any negativity that I might have been feeling, I would just kind of get through it by myself. And now it's the new year and here we are. And yeah, so I have a couple things to share with you guys. I hope that you did have a good holiday season wherever you are, whatever you celebrate, and that your 2024 is going well so far. So today, considering how long I've been gone, I don't have as much to show as I kind of thought I would, but first and foremost, it's very atmospheric today. It is disgusting outside. We were supposed to get snow and it's now turned into just disgusting rain, and apparently they're calling for flooding, and we had some ice this morning. So I'm very lucky that I work for a very compassionate small business and they gave us the day off with pay, which is awesome because they said they would rather us just stay home and be safe. So I am doing cozy podcasts today. I've got on fuzzy socks and leggings and my first finished object. I'm gonna stand up, but nobody judge me for my pants, okay? I don't like to usually wear leggings when I record stuff, just, whatever. Also in a dining room chair today. So, this is my Traveller Hoodie. This is a pattern by Andrew Mowry. Excuse the chair noises. It is a hoodie. I did make the hood version instead of, she has a crew neck version. This is the first hoodie I've ever made. So this took me a really long time. I think I cast this on in September. It is, I don't even know. Was it gonna pick up? Yeah. So it's got this horizontal ribbing all over, which I know the cameras aren't really picking up because of how dark it is today, but it's knit bottom up. It is a drop shoulder construction. It is very boxy. I went down a size. This is a size 2. I usually make a 3 when I make Andrew Mowry patterns. But I knew most of her stuff's oversized anyways, so I knew I was going to have quite a bit of extra room, plus this stitch pattern grows more vertically than horizontally, but it does grow, so I just gave myself a little extra room, or less room. I gave myself less room by going down a size. Yeah, so I did not enjoy making this at all. I think it was really just the rib pattern was really annoying for my brain for some reason. There was at no point in the 2 months it took me to make this did I say, you know what I really want to work on today? That Traveller Hoodie. This was definitely a product knit. It was not a process knit for me because I love the finished product. I wear this thing all the time. It's already pilling pretty bad, but I made it out of drops. The name of this yarn constantly eludes me. I'll put it on the screen. I can't remember. I used it to make another Andrew Mowry sweater a couple months ago, and it's very inexpensive. I think all together I'm less than $25 on this. I got it for sale and it's already cheap anyways. But it is an alpaca wool blend with a little bit of acrylic in it. And I don't usually use acrylic stuff, but I felt like it might be a little harder wearing, maybe. And I wanted it to be made out of something, some yarn that is not precious to me, so I could not feel bad about, wearing this around a campfire or getting it kind of dirty and then having to wash it or whatever. I am a little more precious with some of my other things that I've made because of the yarn that I use, so that was kind of a deliberate decision on my part. But yeah, first time I've ever made a hoodie in the hood. So I made it through the body. I was kind of sick of knitting on this by the time I finished the body and the sleeves. I did the body and the sleeves, and then the hood was the last thing because you pick up around your neckline and then knit it up. So it's something about knitting this pattern flat plus the shaping for the front and the back shoulders and everything that just really got on my nerves, and I don't know why. Once I got to the sleeves it was fine because knitting it in the round is no big deal, But even still, like I have, there's a couple places, I don't know if you're gonna be able to tell, probably not, but like here, I have too many stockinette rows that I'm supposed to, so like it doesn't match the rest of the sweater. Nobody knows but me, but I feel like when it's kind of bunched up like it gets, when it's not like stretched out, you can definitely notice because there's a noticeable gap in my ridges. But so I've got one there, at least one on the front and another one on the back where I just wasn't counting or paying attention or whatever. But it's not a big deal, but I was already frustrated, and then when I saw that I had done that, I was like, oh, it's ruined. It's obviously not ruined, it's fine. But anyway, so I got to the hood and I was like, oh, I'm finally almost finished. It was a Friday evening. I was like, I'll finish this over the weekend. This thing took forever. And it took like 100 grams of yarn. I mean, I guess it is a lot. It's a lot of knitting, and it's very ribbed. It just feels weird. I don't know. I don't really wear it with the hood up often. Let's take that back. We had like a weird warm spell. It's like disgusting and 40 degrees outside right now, but I think we had like some 60-degree days and it was a little windy, but I was sitting on my porch reading and I was like, oh, my ears are cold. I have a hood. Ah. So it has come in handy, but I don't usually wear it with the hood up. But yeah, it was very interesting construction. I think if I made this again, I would probably just omit the ribbed pattern and be fine with that. I did add 2 inches to the body. So like I said, this pattern grows a lot after it's blocked, and even more so as you wear it and, you know, kind of relaxes down. So I knew Andrea has a percentage to like do the math of like, if, you know, your pre-block gauge should be this and your post-blocking gauge should be this, and it should grow by X percentage. So I kind of did the math on that and figured out, you know, I wanted mine to be longer. I have it, I mean, it's down, it comes down to the top of my butt. So it's a good hoodie, I think. It's like a regular hoodie length. This is definitely not cropped. So yeah, I added 2 inches pre-blocked, which ended up being like 3.5, 4 inches maybe. It really, really grows quite a bit. So I was trying to be careful about my sleeves because I didn't want, you know, something that's crazy long, but I do find that the sleeves don't, like they keep their kind of ridged shape a little bit more than the body does, I guess because of the weight. So yeah, the length is not a problem at all. Like, this is perfect. It's very comfortable. It's lightweight, but it's still warm. I really like it. And for my little I-cord drawstrings, I used some leftover, it's yarnable. Shoot, I'm not doing very well today. Hypnotic yarn. I used some leftover hypnotic yarn that I got from a Yarnable subscription that I had last year, and I made socks out of this kind of neon yellowy green, whatever. I really like the pop of color. I wanted pink, but the only neon pink I had, I didn't really want to break into because I have other plans for it down the road. So this worked out pretty well. I do like it. And yeah, that's it. I knit it on size 5 needles. Forgot to say that earlier. So size 2, size US 5 needles, drops. It's Nord. It's Nord. It's dropped Nord. I don't know why I can't ever remember that. But anyways, yes, that is my first finished object. I do really like it, so if it's been on your list, I do suggest that you make it, and probably you will not find it as annoying as I did. I don't know. It's just not doing it for me. It does a lot of purling though, so like heads up, because obviously when you're in the round, you have to purl to get your garter ridges, and when you're flat, you're purling to get your stockinette, and so FYI. Okay, so next on my finished object list is actually something I finished quite a while ago. I finished this back in October. But I'll just tell you what it is. The Vertices Unite shawl by Stephen West. I loved it, and I wore it to a book club meeting, which was 45 minutes away from my house. And I left it at the girl's house, and I was like, oh no. So my other friend found it and said, oh, I'll take it to her. So she took it home with her. Well, she lives 45 minutes in the other direction. And so it took 2 months for us to like, A, remember, and B, coordinate to get it back to me. So I finally got it back in December, and I'm so happy because I love it so, so much. But I've not shared the finished object on the podcast, so I will share it today. And I will also stand up for this because it is quite large. Ta-da! Vertices Unite. It is very long. Whee! Okay, so from up here, colors. This is my handspun. This section is drops alpaca for the light color, and the darker color is Malabrigo sock yarn. Malabrigo sock. This is a combination of a Noro yarn that is like a, I can't remember which one it is, but it's a combination of cotton and bamboo and a bunch of other things that I had left over. So that's that. Then I ran out, so then I had to use some more of the brown Malabrigo sock. This section, the bright stripes are drops baby merino. The darker stripes are my handspun. And then the slightly darker gray stripes over here are knitting for olive cotton merino that I thought was this until I ran out of this and realized, oops, this is a totally different color. My bad. And this last section is more Malabrigo sock. So my goal with this was to use up as much scrap as I could. I have used both of the Malabrigo, well, no, I take that back. The brown Malabrigo sock was in another Stephen West shawl. My handspun I had just finished and really enjoyed it, and used some of that on an Andrew Mowry pattern earlier in the year. So I wanted to use that up. The drops alpaca I just happened to have in my stash from who knows how long ago. Yeah, this is probably the funniest part. Is like, I really thought that these two stripe colors were the same. They're very clearly not. Whoops. You can definitely see where I ran out of the cotton merino. It doesn't matter. This was definitely a scrappy shawl, and it worked out kind of surprisingly well. I don't think if I had just gone into a store and picked up yarn, I would not have done this color combination. I've got purples, I've got greens, I've got browns, I've got yellows, got gray. It's very just kind of mishmash, whatever, but I love it. I love it. I think it wears super duper well. That long shape with the kind of long pointy ends makes it so easy to wrap like this, and like I don't have to fuss with it. It doesn't fall off of my body. I just go out and enjoy my life. It's also big enough. I did the large size and I knitted on size 4s. It's also big enough to like comfortably wear it on your shoulders, and it again doesn't fall off. Like, it's just nice that you don't have to fiddle with it. I get tired of fiddling with shawls, like if they're a little bit too small, or if the side, like the triangle shaped ones really don't work for me, I find. I love them and I love to make them, but they're just not very easy for me to wear. It's probably a me thing, but yeah. This, I will absolutely 100% be making another one, and I think when I make my next one, I will buy yarn specifically for the project. I think I'd like one with some like, some maroon maybe. That'd be really pretty. Something really dark and kind of moody. But yeah, I do love it. I love it. I love it. It was fun. It was soothing to knit. The whole thing's garter, but because you knit these like sections, I think it's 5 sections. Don't quote me, it's been a long time. But because you knit each section by itself, you start with this really, really big one, and then you either pick up stitches or you have stitches on hold, and you just keep creating this crazy mosaic. It keeps things very interesting. And even the I-cord edging, which sometimes, especially on Stephen West shawls, because there's so many stitches, I'm like, oh no. It wasn't bad. It really wasn't bad, because like a lot of the stitches were just on hold. So you didn't have to pick up all the way around this huge thing, which was super nice. So yeah, I love it. Definitely making it again. 10 out of 10 on this pattern. 10 out of 10 on my weird scrappiness. Like, it just worked out, and I'm pretty pleased. So that is that. Okay, next finished object. This one was kind of, it was definitely unplanned. So long backstory to this. Not really, not that long. My good friend who loves Christmas, loves snow, loves winter. She's just totally into it. She was in Walmart for something one day and just saw this kind of, I mean, it's a little gaudy. It's, you know, whatever, it's kitschy. She found this hat and it's like a flannel snowman hat. And when we went for our girls' night Christmas, I showed up dressed in a flannel shirt, and she was like, oh my gosh, I have the perfect hat for that. So I had to wear this hat all night everywhere we went. They kind of picked on me because they said I looked like I was ready for Christmas at the farm. Whatever. It was all in good fun. But so she like loves this hat. She bought it as a joke, and then she wore it all season long. And so she has a granddaughter, and she's like, I want her to match me. Can you make a toboggan to match this hat? I'm like, sure, I'll try. So successful. I'm so pleased. Look at this little hat. I think it's so cute. I was so proud of this in particular. So I did a folded band because I wanted to hide all of like the floats that are in there. Plus, I don't know if this kid wears earrings or not, but I was just kind of thinking if they're yanking it on and off and it catches an earring, that's not going to be good for a 2 or 3 year old, however old she is. 18 months, I don't know. I've only met her once. She doesn't live around here. Anyways, so I knit this out of, focus. It's just so cute. This little nose. I knit this out of Knit Picks Comfy. I actually have it right here. The whole thing is knit out of Comfy except for the nose. That was just some leftover superwash merino that I had laying around. I knit this from the top down. The kid's head is 19.5 inches. I don't remember how, like, what my stitch count was. I just kind of Googled like hat length for babies, like per circumference. I don't know. I'm just really hoping it fits because I think I'm going to be devastated if it doesn't. But anyways, knit this top down and then put the white part on hold, blocked that separately. This part was done on a size 2, which it made for a really tight stitch, which I'm glad. I made a whole second one out of, I think I did it on size 3, and it was a little too loose, like, and it almost fit me, so the gauge was way off. So reknit that, blah, blah. Anyways, this section I knit on size 4 needles, and there are more stitches in the band than there are in the top by about 5 stitches, I think. Just to get, like, I did a 5x5 plaid, so just to get my, must have been less than 5, must have been like 4 stitches, whatever it was. I did have to decrease a hair to get it to match up to the top. And then I bought a pom-pom maker for the first time. Probably could have gone a little thicker on my pom-pom, but for a first one, looks pretty good. And then I crocheted his little like circles and stuff. So I'm so happy. I think he's so cute. I'm very pleased with that. And honestly, as I was making this plaid, I'm like, I think I need something in this. I love it. I really, really like it. And it wasn't bad. It's just, I mean, clearly it's very simple. You just do every other one and you're off color, and then just switch to, you know, you switch your blocks. It's not hard. I looked at a picture and was like, great, we can do that. So this is my little self-drafted snowman hat. And I don't think he looks very good in pictures, which is the sad part. Like when he's flat, he looks weird and sad. So it has to be kind of, it needs it to be on a kid's head. So I don't have any pictures of it, sadly. And I've not shown my friend. I was supposed to see her tonight, but you know, we're gonna wash away in this flood, so I will give it to her next week and it'll be fine. Yeah, that is that. And then my last finished object, I just knit like last week. This was my New Year's Eve cast on. Simple, plain old hat for myself. So this is out of my handspun. This was my last handspun of 2023. It is Hip Strings Odinson. Odinson is the name of the colorway, and it is a mix of merino, Shetland maybe? Don't quote me on that. Silk and sari silk, and this is the first time I've spun anything with sari silk, which was very interesting because it tended to clump really bad, and I just felt like I did not want to stress this spin. I just kind of let it. It was as close to art yarn as I'm ever gonna get to art yarn. I just was like, it's gonna spin up how it wants to spin up. I'm just gonna let it go. And the sari silk fibers are so short compared to the wool and the other silk. So that was a very interesting spin. But all that being said, I was aiming for a DK weight, And I mean, I was just flying through it. I spun this up in like 2.5 days, maybe. Applied it the whole 9. And I got it off of the yarn winder, and I was like, yeah, that's definitely it's a fingering weight. When I try the fingering weight, just whatever. I love this. I think it's so cute. Now, granted, I probably could have gone with smaller needles. This is the Pearl Soho. It's like basic ribbed hat. The name will be up here. And I'm pretty sure that they call for one of their DK weight yarns, and you're supposed to knit it on a size 3. It's a free pattern, by the way, so if you need a hat, here you go. And so I knit it on the 3, and this is clearly not DK, so I think I could have gone, like, I probably should have gone smaller, because after I blocked it, it grew on me. But it's very comfortable, and I think I look like a cute little hipster, and I'm down for that. I wore it all through dinner last night, and then my head was sweaty when I left because it was warm inside. Whatever. I like it. I think it's cute. Got my little slouch hat, So yeah, that's my first finished object of 2024. Yay! I really enjoy making stuff with my handspun. Like, it's just fun. I feel so proud of myself, and I really liked this. Like, when I saw the braid, I bought it at the Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival last year, which I will be going to again this year. Can't wait. But when I saw it just kind of hanging in the braid, it's just such a, like, this is not a me color. It was very, I felt like it's very bland. But she had it spun up. She had like not singles, but like little mini skeins of most of her braids that she had spun to kind of give you like, this is how it could look if you spun it XYZ way. And I loved it because it's got these like, all these color pops in there from the Sari silk. Totally love it. Sorry if my voice gets really loud when I lean in. My microphone's literally right there. But yeah, I totally love this. It's comfortable. It's very lightweight. I was a little worried it would be itchy because of, like, it's not 100% merino, or it has that other fiber mixed into it. I knew the silk would soften enough, but not itchy. Quite love it. Probably gonna wear it for the rest of this podcast. Yeah. It's like very chilly in my house because I'm too cheap to heat it during the day because I'm usually at work. So I have the thermostat cut way down, but I'm here and I'm not turning it up. So that's it. That's all my finished objects. This is my teacup. Look how cute it is. That is handmade by a lady in Manteo, North Carolina. And those are supposed to be the sand dunes and the seabirds, and I quite like it. It's very shiny. Anyways, I've had this for a long time. It's like one of my special cups that no one's allowed to use with me. Ooh, my tea's gotten cold. Okay, so for works in progress, I only have 2 right now. And I don't have a whole lot of progress on one of them, but, I'm really stuck on, like, what do I want to cast on next? I think I'm going to cast on the Dustland shawl by Stephen West, but we'll see. We'll get there in a second. Okay, so my first work in progress, not much progress. This is a sleeve from the Brienne cardigan by Brienne Moody, I believe. This is a very interesting construction on this thing. So it's a cardigan, and it is knit from cuff across the body to your other cuff. So very, very strange and interesting, but you start with your contrast color, flip it around, contrast color, and then you knit a second ribbing in your main color, and then you knit up your sleeve, and then you get to the body and you knit to the midpoint, and then you switch to the other side and you knit across, and I think you graft the back together. Haven't gotten that far in the pattern. This is in the Neons and Neutrals book by Amy of La Bien-Aimée. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. I don't want to butcher it, so I just won't. And I'm knitting this in Drops Lima, and yeah. So my contrast color is this super poppy pink. I'm pretty excited about that. There is some like little details of your contrast color on the 2 fronts. It has little tiny baby pockets that go on the sides. And yeah, it's just a really interesting, this was not on my to make list for the fall and winter of this year, but I don't remember where I came across it, but I found it and I was obsessed with it, and I got the book for my birthday, and I really thought I was gonna like cast on and knock it out because it's done on size 6 needles, maybe 7s. It's done on 7s. I don't usually knit with anything that big, so it does go quickly, but yeah, I don't know. I'm a little concerned because this is 1 skein of yarn. It's only 50 grams, but still, I'm like, It's like not even half. It's more than, it's half. It's half of a sleeve, but I don't know if I'm gonna have enough. I'm a little worried about it, but I don't know. I think other things have just been taking up my time. I have been spinning a lot, like a lot. So that's probably why. And also I am at the end of this skein and I just need to spit splice to a new one, and I'm being lazy and I don't want to do it. I will spit splice though, because I'm even more lazy and I don't want to weave in ends. That's the nice thing about this yarn. It is made from 100%, no, that's not true. It's mostly wool and a little bit of alpaca, but it is all protein fibers, so it will spit splice. I made my halibut sweater by Caitlin Hunter. I made out of this yarn, and I have worn the absolute heck out of that, and it's been fine. It does pill a little bit, but not terribly. It doesn't grow too bad. I know a lot of people are really hesitant to use anything that has any alpaca content in it, because it does grow some, but if it's mixed with wool, I have not had any issues as far as like it blocking out way too big or it stretching while I'm wearing it or the drape being wrong. I think the wool gives it enough stability that it's fine as long as it's a primary wool and like just a little bit of alpaca, because I think it makes it very soft and it does give it a little soft halo. I doubt that you can see that. Maybe. But anyways, so yeah, most of this is knit flat, obviously. That might be another reason I'm not like gravitating towards it, because this took me so long with the flat bits that I just, maybe it needed a break. So I don't know. I think I am gonna work on that a little bit today in my free time. Yeah, I'm doing a size 2 because I did hear from a couple people in one of my previous episodes that it is a very large sweater. So usually would do a 3, went down to a 2. And I've also seen some people's comments on Ravelry that the neckband does not sit right on the sweater. So that's gonna be interesting too. I think they have a problem with like the way it comes around the neck, and down here I think it tends to like flap open. So I don't know what I'm gonna do to fix that problem. We'll see. If you can hear snoring, it's my fat dog in the background. She's out. Okay. All right, my last work in progress is another cardigan. Who am I? I never knit cardigans. I got 2 on the needles. This is the Cosmo Cardigan by Russ Knitwear. The body is done. It's gonna be really cute when it's finished. Working on my first sleeve. So this is done top down, obviously. It's a raglan construction. This is the front. Back up some. Any old who. I like the back though, because as you can see, you knit. You start with a 2x2 rib and then you knit this cable pattern to make the nice little pointed V shape, and then you do stockinette for the rest of your body. And you do the same thing on your sleeve, and it just connects so well. I love it. And it's not bad. The cabling is not bad. I was really intimidated by this pattern when I first downloaded it and I opened it, and there was like 9 charts. And granted, I didn't read anything. I was just flipping through and I was like, I don't know if I want to get into this. But the 9 charts are actually, she has it separated like per size group, and it makes it so much easier, because for my group, you know, I only have the 1 chart I have to work off of. Actually, I think it was 2. Still, not bad at all. Not intimidating. Pattern's very well written. Very much enjoyed it, and so far it's been great. So it's knit with a fingering weight and a merino held double. I am using my handspun for the dark color, and I'm using Drops Kid Silk for the merino bit. And I am actually very proud of how this handspun's come out. This is my first sweater quantity of spinning, and it was also my first spin on my new wheel. I had a kiwi and I got a matchless late in the summer, so I spun 4 skeins, I think. 4 skeins of this orange. And I am on my last skein, so I think I'm probably gonna have to spin a little bit more to get me through the second sleeve, but we'll see. I still have quite a bit. So this was like 118 grams when I started on this sleeve. So we'll see. I don't know. Don't want to get ahead of myself, but also I don't want to be caught short either, because it's gonna take me a minute to spin. Anyways, and I also have to do a double knit neckband. I probably should just start spinning. Anyways, It's supposed to be a fingering weight. I think I got closer to a sport weight, so the pattern calls for a size 6 needle, and I had to go down to a 5 to get gauge. But I did check my gauge. I did wash my swatch. I did the whole thing like I'm supposed to. Good job me. I don't usually. Oops. And I did add a little bit extra length to the body, but only like an inch or so, so it will still be a little bit cropped, but I'm okay with that. Anything else I want to say about, oh, fun story. So I said I went down to size 5 needles to get my gauge. So I finished the body, and I needed the 5s for maybe the hood of this, maybe? I don't remember, but I needed those 5s, and I couldn't find them. I couldn't find my 5s. I could only find, you know, like, I don't understand how I've lost it. I just had it on this project. Well, come to find out, no, I didn't. I had 1 5 and 1 6, and I knit this whole body of the sweater with 2 different needle sizes. And the sad part is you can't tell. So honestly, I'm kind of wondering if it didn't like help me, like would I have rode out really bad otherwise? I don't know. I thought that was so funny. I couldn't believe it did that. And it's really, really even, I think. Especially considering it's handspun. I cracked myself up on that. So I did not go for a 5 and a 6 on my sleeves. These are just 5s. I think it's still working out fine. Like, it's so silly. I can't believe I did that. Yeah. So that's that. That's my Cosmo Cardigan. I have never double knit anything before, so that's going to be interesting for the button band. And if you've been here for a while, you know how much I hate buttons. I despise putting buttons on stuff. Like the last time I made a cardigan, I literally took it to my mom and was like, can you please just sew these stupid buttons on before I stab somebody? And she's like, it's not that hard, Marilyn. It's like, well, it feels difficult for me. I don't know why. It's just like one of those things I do not have patience for. I will sit and knit a whole sweater on fingering, you know, I knit a whole sweater in half fisherman's rib on size 2 needles. Totally fine. Comes putting buttons on a stupid cardigan, can't do it. Don't know. Can't tell you. Takes all kinds of people to make the world work, so what my aunt tells me all the time. So I guess that's just my thing. This is a size 3. Don't know if I said that. That's what it is. Okay, and that is it. Oh, I did want to share one acquisition. I've not bought, yeah, I was gonna say, is that a lie? It's not a lie. Not bought any yarn. I was good in December. I did buy some fabric. I spent a lot of money on fabric. And now I'm too afraid to use it because it's like nice linen. And I really don't know what I'm doing when it comes to sewing. So I got a new sewing machine for Christmas. That's where that comes from. Let me grab my yarn. So this was a gift from my sister. I was super excited. This is Tiny Human Knits, and this is the Jolene colorway. And I'm so excited. So it's a 50-gram skein of this, and I'm assuming a 25 of this, but it's supposed to be enough for, you know, like a sock set. And I have wanted some of the Tiny Human Knits sock yarn forever, so I'm super excited about that. I will be making a pair of socks. I've never done a two color sock, like a toe and heel combo, so that'll be exciting. And her self-striping is always so gorgeous. Very excited. Come on, focus. You can do it. I believe in you. It's really struggling with the lack of light today. I keep getting this little like, you need more light. And I have a light ring, but either, you know, I turn it up, then I get like totally washed out. So the struggle. Anywho, that is that. That's all I've got for today. I will be filming probably right after this a 2023 knits in review kind of thing. So if that is something you're interested in, keep an eye out for that. And yeah, thanks for stopping by. I hope you've been well. I hope everything's good with you and yours, and I hope you're doing something that makes you happy. I will see you guys very soon, but bye for now.